All these experts come from different backgrounds, different disciplines, and different decades, yet they all point towards the same conclusion.
The keys to life. What are the things that everything needs for living? Well, shelter, food, water, and air. Okay, shelter, maybe you can get by a long time without. It depends on where you live. Food, a lot less time. Water, even less. But air, that's one that turns out to be so critical. And that's the key in terms of soil structure, to be able to get enough porosity in that soil so that we get a balance between the water and the air. In clay soils, generally we have too much water and not enough air. If there's something wrong, too much water, not enough air. In sandy soil, too much air, not enough water.
Only one time in my life has something like this happened to me.
But for decades, the industries told us that soil is just a sterile medium designed to hold synthetic inputs. We were trapped in the guess and stress cycle, reacting to deficiencies instead of building systems.
Well, I don't think people were thinking about microbes at all. We are a product of leftover munitions from World War II, and they had a lot of nitrogen in it, and so those were what were used. And I think what happened was people began to start thinking, gee, this doesn't make any sense. Why are we putting chemicals down on food we eat when we know we don't want to eat those chemicals?
But what if biology isn't just helping plants? What if biology is how plants survive?
Plant roots are actually about more than simply extracting nutrients out of soils. They actually are microbe processing structures. But plants are really managing these microbes closely. It's more like a farming whereby they get their nutrients. And no plant in nature relies on simply absorbed nutrients.
If plants don't simply absorb nutrients, then how does the system work? The answer is energy. Every day, plants capture sunlight and send a portion of that energy below ground, feeding the biology that makes the life in the soil possible.
When people jump on certain topics, like they say, we got to be more fungal dominated. Well, the soil life eats first. And so the more complex food I put in the soil, they're eating it first and your crop is starving. So you got to have a balance between bacteria. You have to have some highly soluble stuff, that's bacteria food, and some slow release, that's fungal food. And we thought all those years, adding complex carbons to our soil to feed the fungal population would build organic matter. And now the new thinking is it's photosynthesis. It's liquid carbon, and that dumping that into the soil and letting the bacteria and the fungal do their thing and make the organic matter, make the complex carbons by putting more sugars and more photosynthized materials in the soil. Yes. So first you got to create that ideal home and take away some of the negatives, whether it be salts, ammonias, insecticides, fungicides. I got to take away some of those negatives, but then I got to create an ideal home and feed them. And that ideal home is they got to have air, and they can't be waterlogged, and they got to have a balance of food. Now, if I want to have getting photosynthesis to really work out here. So I think we know enough about what it takes and what kind of feed we got to feed based on what kind of results we want to get in soil. We understand the biology. They need to have a great home. We need to feed them. We have to have a diversity of the diet.
Healthy soil isn't just built by feeding the plants alone. It's built by feeding the entire system. If healthy soil is built by living systems, then what happens when we design agriculture to work with those systems instead of against them?
Why should I try to kill the things that want to live? And why do I struggle to keep things alive that want to die? Let the things die that want to die, and I'll work with the ones that want to live. Well, sustainable, if you think about that, that's what are the practices required to sustain what you're doing right now in perpetuity? You're kind of holding it steady and holding it in place and not degrading it. Restoration, on the other hand, ecological restoration is and basically what it is going to a area and restoring the plant community types that used to be there historically over a long period of time, and the ecological functions that happened at that place, and the hydrological relations that were happening on that place.
Nature doesn't build resilience through simplicity. It builds resilience through diversity.
we're restoring the ecological function. And what goes along with that is now you get all of the wildlife, the insect life, the birds, the animals, reptiles, amphibians. And if you think about um, birds, for example, uh, most birds, anyways, have insects as a high percentage of their diet. Well, what are the birds doing in your ecosystem? They're doing insect control. So why would I want to eliminate their habitat when now I'll have to go take care of the insect control? Same with amphibians. Well, they need water in order to reproduce. So let's manage any runoff water and have pocket ponds here and there specifically for amphibians to reproduce in, and as watering stations for livestock, so I don't have to have tanks and pipes and hoses. And now I've got amphibians that are helping with insect control. Why would I spray insect control spray to get rid of insects when I know that amphibians get 50% of their oxygen right through their skin? So if I use an insect killing spray, whether it's chemical or certified organic, it's making my frogs sick and killing my frogs. So why would I kill my insect control in order to get insect control? It just doesn't make sense to me. Every acre of annual crops in the USA, North America, around the world, every acre of annual crops gets restored, ecologically restored back to its previous plant community type and ecological function, including hydrological function. And that's a small change because it may only be just, redirecting the water a little bit, adding a few extra species of tree, having some more perennial strips of grasses and flowers that go through the whole system. And that's a radical change over millions of acres. So to see every annual crop acres in North America and around the world converted back to the plant community types that it used to be before we started annual crop farming it.
Structure creates the foundation. Life drives the system. Energy fuels the process. And nature repeats it, season after season, generation after generation. Healthy soil isn't created. It's cultivated through structure, through life, through energy, through time. And when those pieces come together, the soil doesn't just grow crops, it grows resilience.